Dallas Cowboys NFL Draft coverage is presented by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping on all of their top-of-the-line elite men's grooming products at manscaped.com/chat. As you probably know by the headline, we're doing grades for the Dallas Cowboys draft picks in the 2022 NFL Draft, 9 in total. Brief overview of who they picked, then grades and more in-depth analysis. Round 1 was Tyler Smith, who was a tackle at Tulsa, but I would wager ends up being an offensive guard early on for the Dallas Cowboys. I think he's a day one starter. I would hope at the left guard spot, the Cowboys apparently were much higher on Tyler Smith than I certainly was, and several others were as well. We spent a lot of time on Tyler Smith. We'll come back to him. Round 2, Sam Williams, a name we talked about so much here on the Dallas Cowboys Report. He was the second-round pick out of Ole Miss. Jalen Tolbert was the third-round selection out of South Alabama, the wide receiver who I actually had, in terms of my final grades, higher than anybody. The Cowboys ended up taking Jake Ferguson, the tight end out of Wisconsin. The tight end run hurt you just like the wide receiver run hurt you at 56. The fifth rounders, oh, so many of them. Matt Waletzko, the high upside player out of North Dakota, the offensive tackle there. DaRon Blane was the cornerback pick who we talked about as a maybe UDFA pick, who, much like Devin Harper in the 6th, the Cowboys simply did not want to wait for. Damone Clark, one of the more intriguing picks here by the Dallas Cowboys, the linebacker out of LSU. We'll spend a lot of time on him. Stay tuned for a lot of in-depth analysis you're not going to get elsewhere on the 5th-round picks. Fatty's only lives with John Ridgeway, maybe the D lineman out of Arkansas, and then Devin Harper, the linebacker out of Oklahoma State. So in a minute, I will get to my grade. But first, what grade do you give the Dallas Cowboys draft this year? And I by the way, to be clear, I want you guys to be honest with me. I'm not in the business of selling you guys sunshine and rainbows and, to be honest, some lies of just being a homer when this team hasn't won anything in years for the Dallas Cowboys. So I want you to be honest with this question. Is it a safe space to be a fan or to not be a fan? A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the Cowboys draft this year for me. A, B, C, D, or F. This is the pinned comment on today's video, so if the ad break comes, take advantage of it. Let me know how you feel about this Dallas Cowboys draft. All right, I'm going to give it a C+. Graphics not in there. It's all good. You can pay attention to what I'm saying. C+ is how I feel. And my grades are A is great, which I gave the 2020 draft class. B is good. C is average. And it was I can't ever give it an A because I do my draft grades, all this research, annoying my wife with not paying attention to her, with the weeks and months leading up to the draft because I study these guys. I did not Tyler Smith pick. Now, the upside of Tyler Smith is he becomes a franchise left tackle for you, one of the youngest players. You can go ahead and push it, Trace. You're good. The youngest players in this year's class, the left tackle for Tulsa. And it's just funny to me for the Cowboys to be so worried about Connor Williams' penalties with yet 1 year of penalty problems, and you took the most penalized player in all of college football in Smith. Now, the power, unlike Sewell, is there. He has great power, great strength. The footwork and hand usage is not there. That is correctable. You can fix that if your offensive line coach is good. Do you guys trust Joe Philbin? I'm not so sure that he is. Coaches love him because I can coach him up. We'll see if he gets there. Upside, left guard this year, your franchise left tackle for 10 to 15 years. The downside is the technique never gets fixed, and he's penalty boy on steroids, and he never grows to what he could be. It is upside versus what he is right now. That is a very real concern that I certainly have. Let's get to 128,000 subscribers here on the Dallas Cowboys Report. We are, we'll round and say 650 away. And we will do undrafted free agency tracker on Sunday. We will break that down for you guys. All the UDFAs. Teaser, if he doesn't get drafted, keep an eye on Brock Purdy from that standpoint there. So we'll break down the second-round pick here in just a second. But make sure you guys are subscribed to youtube.com/CowboysTV. Daily videos every single day for you here on the Cowboys Report. Round 2. We spent a lot of time on the second, third round picks yesterday, so we'll go kind of quicker here. Sam Williams, we talked a lot about him because we all knew it, that the Cowboys could very well draft Sam Williams in the second or third round. He was not going to make it to you in the third. The edges were gone. Yeah, if you wanted him, had to take him in round 2. I hope the off-the-field stuff we talked about on yesterday's show or Friday's show, take a look at it. Hope that's all cleared. Burst and bend. This was the Dan Quinn pick on day 2. We mentioned Manscaped, right? If you want the ultra premium package, go get it today. Manscaped.com/chat. 20% off and free shipping on all their elite men's grooming products. Like, hopefully, the Cowboys play like this. If they play like Manscaped helps you off the field, they'll be a Super Bowl contender this year. 20% off and free shipping on all of their products. The Ultra Premium Collection and the Lawnmower 4.0 and everything else in between. Check the comment section and the description. The link is in there, manscaped.com/chat. Use promo code chat as needed. Round 3, Jalen Tolbert, who, he was my highest graded player out of everybody in this year's class with the Cowboys, which is, it's a big reason why I didn't give it that high of a grade, because I can't lie to you guys and be like, oh, yeah, home run pick, and then, like, my public big board's like, well, you had him at 70 overall, Tom. What are you talking about there? I like Tolbert. When I was watching him, I kept getting this player's vibe. Like, no, like, awesome, off the top, like, elite at this, but, like, good overall, no bad traits. I kept coming back to Michael Gallup. And, oh, by the way, it is a big deal to me that Dak Prescott, or before the draft, went ahead and called Jalen Tolbert. That's a good sign that the Cowboys liked him, maybe even higher than I had him at 60 overall on my board. This was my favorite pick in the 2022 NFL Draft by the Dallas Cowboys. I loved it. And I want, again, honest answers from you guys on this one. Who was your favorite pick by the Cowboys this year? Was it Tolbert, Smith? Maybe it's one of the day 3 guys we'll get into here momentarily. I want you guys to sound off in the comment section right now. Round 4, Jake Ferguson, which we also broke down, by the way. Unfortunately, Cade Otton and one pick before you, Charlie Kolar, went off the board, who I really wanted out of Iowa State and Washington. Flip the reverse there for the respective side there. I get some Dalton Schultz vibes from Ferguson. Not an elite blocker. The 40-yard dash was pretty poor, 4.81. Good agility. Tight end 2. Big-time vibes here. You might have him as your backup this year. See how he grows. In the end, I am unconvinced that the Dallas Cowboys are going to pay Dalton Schultz long-term. We'll wait and see on that one. Another lineman, Matt Waletzko out of North Dakota. I got it right that time. Didn't call it the wrong school here. Sobered up a little bit here. 6'7" and over a half in terms of his size. 36 1/8 inch arms. Unbelievable frame and upside there. Really great athlete. Towers over people with that ridiculous frame. Jared Veldheer, also a small school prospect-ish, is a good comp here. He needs time. Maybe he's a redshirt year guy, just like Josh Ball was. Maybe he competes as your 4th OT, barring a free agency pickup. Waletzko is a developmental player. And in round 5, 155, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to find a steal in terms of like, wow, I had this guy top 100. If he was, yeah, there's probably something wrong off the field. He was 140 on my board, so I really like that pick there by the Cowboys. One of my favorite ones here from the Cowboys side of things here, with a litany of fifth-round picks that they ended up having in this year's class. Next up, DaRon Blane out of Fresno State, who I pegged as a maybe UDFA target, but again, I think this was a Dan Quinn selection. The arm length is absolutely there for him out of Fresno State. 6 foot and change, 197, 32-inch arms, tested pretty well. 4.46 40-yard dash. I like him a little bit more than I like Deshaun Wright coming out of Oregon State, if I'm being honest here. Non-combine invite. Sacramento State track athlete there as well. To Fresno. I had him as an under-the-radar player. I had a 7th-round grade. He was drafted before me, so it was a little bit early. But this was a Dan Quinn pick, and he's earned the right to make some of those picks. 5th round, I will never go lower than a D. I'll give it a C range there. Damone Clark, this one is one of the more risky day 3 picks in terms of what he could be versus the worst case scenario. Had Damone Clark been healthy, because he had a spinal fusion surgery before this year's draft went down, he would have been a top 70 player for me in this year's class. Instead, a 6th-round grade because there is major medical uncertainty. Look at this production, guys. This is awesome. 5.5 sacks, rounds up to 6 there. A couple pass breakups, interception. Kenneth Murray athletic comp for me. Great frame, great length. Ideally, this is your pairing with your Brill Cox, with Parsons playing your hybrid linebacker role. Stephen Jones says he thinks Clark plays in round 1 or plays in year 1. We'll see. The spinal fusion surgery is no joke. That is a red flag. He needs to improve his instincts, but the upside is incredible. Had he been healthy, he might have been my highest graded player of this Cowboys draft class. So in the 5th round, 176, absolutely worth the risk by the Cowboys. 128 overall, the other 6th-round pick here. Ladies and gentlemen, Fatty's only lives, John Ridgeway out of Arkansas, a run stopper out of Trace's alma mater. I think he went to Arkansas. Yeah, he did. Thank you, Trace. Illinois State to Arkansas transfer, 6'5", 321. This is your bigger version of Brent Urban. Austin Johnson, athletic comp as well. Plays a bit high. Got to get him to play lower. He had FBS interest, but he didn't work that hard in school, in high school, which, hey, I get it. You know, it's high school after all. Can shed. I like this pick a lot. I had a 4th-round grade on John Ridgeway, and the Cowboys got him late in the 5th round. I asked you to be nice, now be a hater. Overall, who was the worst Dallas Cowboys draft pick this year? You can be mean. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments section. Round 6, another guy the Cowboys brought in as a pre-draft visit. It's always a good cue for who they like. Devin Harper, the other Oklahoma State linebacker, a bit undersized, 6 foot and change, 234, sub 32-inch arms. I did not like him on coverage. The range as an athlete is absolutely there. He's 24 years old. I don't like drafting old guys, but there's never been, I changed my rules this year, there's never been a bad 6th-round pick. You're at 193. It's fine. I'm not mad about it at all. I'm not going to get bent out of shape over a 6th-round pick. If he grows in coverage, there's going to be some fun upside on that front. So as a late-round flyer, cool. Let's recap, in case you weren't paying attention, the Cowboys draft picks this year. Tyler Smith, boom or bust, one of the biggest ones in this year's class. Sam Williams, who I liked quite a bit. Jalen Tolbert from South Alabama, my favorite pick of this entire draft for the Cowboys. Jake Ferguson out of Wisconsin. Matt Waletzko out of North Dakota, a potential developmental tackle. DaRon Blane from Fresno State. Damone Clark from LSU. And John Ridgeway out of Arkansas, plus Devin Harper in total. I gave it a C+. It's average, to be honest, at best. There's some really, if it hits, it's going to look like an elite draft class. The downside is it's one of the worst ones. So there's a lot of variance in this class. That feels like a C to me. We will be back tomorrow with the undrafted free agency tracker. While we wait for those to come in, I want to hear from you guys. Who do you want to sign as a UDFA this year? Drop a name or names for me in the comments section.